With the growth of their businesses, Ekima and Lillian focused even more on giving back to their community. They built schools, clinics, and community centers, ensuring that the next generation would have the tools and resources to succeed. They also provided funding for local startups, helping others achieve their dreams. Akima and Lillian's work sparked a global movement. They were part of a network of entrepreneurs and innovators working to create sustainable solutions for some of the world's biggest challenges. Their story was a beacon of hope for others who wanted to make a difference, and they continued to lead by example, showing that one person's dream could change the world. As they looked back on their journey, Ekima and Lillian were proud of the legacy they had created. Their businesses had changed the lives of countless people, providing them with opportunities they never thought possible. But more importantly, they had empowered their community to believe in their own potential and make a positive impact on the world. Akima and Lillian, now established as leaders in their field, began to dream new dreams. They envisioned a future where their work would continue to inspire others long after they were gone. They started thinking about the next generation of innovators and how they could continue to mentor and support them. They realized that their true legacy would be the people they had empowered to make a difference. Years later, Ekima and Lillian stood together, watching as their community flourished. Their solar devices powered entire villages, and their bakery model was now replicated in cities across Africa. They had built something lasting, a testament to their hard work, dedication, and love for their community. They had come full circle, from two dreamers to leaders who had changed the world. As they looked to the future, Ekema and Lillian knew their work was far from over. There were still challenges to overcome and new problems to solve, but they also knew that they had the tools and the determination to keep pushing forward. With their unwavering commitment to their community and the world, they were ready for whatever came next. Together, they would continue to make a difference, one solar-powered device and one loaf of bread at a time. It seems like the story I provided earlier has covered Ekema and Lillian's journey fully. If you want, I can continue the narrative or explore a different direction with their journey, whether it's about new challenges, additional characters, or focusing on a specific aspect of their success. As Ekema and Lillian's influence continued to grow, new opportunities arose. They were invited to various global platforms to share their work, not just in renewable energy and food sustainability, but in community-driven social entrepreneurship. They soon realized the far-reaching potential of their businesses to spark change on an even larger scale. Despite their successes, they never lost sight of their roots. They made it a point to visit their hometown of Nkolbison regularly, making sure that the people there never felt disconnected from the global movement they had started. They set up a foundation that focused on supporting young entrepreneurs in Cameroon, particularly those from rural areas. With their business models now proven on a larger scale, Ekema and Lillian began to explore new ventures. They launched educational programs aimed at teaching children and young adults about renewable energy, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. They believed that the future of change lay in equipping the next generation with the knowledge and tools to continue the work they had started. While Ekema was often traveling for business meetings and international collaborations, Lillian had found a new passion for public speaking. She spoke at events about women in business and how the bakery model she had started had grown into a source of empowerment for many women in their region. Her message was simple. With the right skills and dedication, anyone could transform their dreams into reality. Through their travels, Ekema and Lillian encountered other innovators from different corners of the world, all working towards similar goals. These connections led to partnerships that expanded their network of solutions, from eco-friendly packaging to sustainable agricultural practices. They understood now that their businesses were not just about profit, but about creating a movement, a global one. While their work was never easy, it always felt rewarding. In moments of quiet reflection, they would sit together thinking about the challenges they had overcome. They often joked about how far they had come, from two teenagers with a dream to leaders of an international movement. But they knew that the work was never finished. There would always be new hurdles to cross, new problems to solve, and new lives to change. As their businesses expanded into new countries and regions, Ekima and Lillian were faced with new challenges in maintaining their values. Each region they entered had its own unique set of obstacles, from regulatory hurdles to cultural differences, but they remained steadfast in their mission, working to ensure that their businesses contributed positively to every community they touched. One of their most significant partnerships was with a global climate organization that shared their commitment to sustainability. Together, they launched a project that brought solar-powered solutions to remote villages across several African countries. The project also included a network of mobile bakeries that provided fresh food to communities with limited access to local markets. The response was overwhelming, and the project quickly gained international acclaim. Through this partnership, Akema and Lillian were able to make an even greater impact on a global scale. They realized that their dream, which had started with solar panels and a small bakery, had grown into a movement that was changing lives around the world. They were no longer just entrepreneurs, they were visionaries, leaders of a new wave of sustainable development. While their businesses were thriving, Akema and Lillian still believed in the importance of personal connections. They never lost touch with their local community in Colbison, continuing to mentor young people and offer scholarships. Their humble beginnings reminded them of the importance of staying grounded, no matter how successful they became. One day, while walking through the village, they saw a group of young students gathered around a solar-powered device that Akema had designed years ago. They were using it to charge their phones and study for exams. Ekema and Lillian exchanged a smile, knowing that the ripple effect of their work was already making a difference in the lives of the next generation. And so, as they looked out over the horizon, they knew that the journey wasn't over yet. They had built something meaningful, something lasting. They had created a legacy of innovation, community, and love. And as long as there were people willing to dream, Ekema and Lillian would be there, helping to turn those dreams into reality, one solar-powered device and one loaf of bread at a time. As their work expanded across Africa and beyond, Ekema and Lillian began to receive recognition from not only their peers but from governments and global institutions. They were invited to a prestigious international summit on sustainable development, where they would present their work alongside leaders from countries, NGOs, and major corporations. The event was a turning point, a place where their vision was seen not just as an inspiring story, but as a blueprint for change. With the spotlight on them, Ekema and Lillian knew they had to make the most of this opportunity. Their message was clear. Sustainable development wasn't just about technology, it was about community, education, and empowering people to take charge of their own futures. They spoke passionately about the need for renewable energy solutions in rural areas and how their bakery model had become a platform for economic empowerment, particularly for women. They shared the lessons they had learned along the way, the importance of patience, perseverance, and always staying true to their mission. Their presentation was a success, and it sparked conversations with international donors who were eager to collaborate on new projects. Akema and Lillian were offered funding to expand their work to several new countries, including those in East and West Africa, where access to both energy and sustainable food systems was still limited. The new funding would enable them to build solar-powered schools, clinics, and food hubs, providing critical services to underdeveloped regions. Despite the promise of funding and global acclaim, the pressure to scale up quickly weighed heavily on both of them. The partnerships and media attention were exciting, but they also presented new complexities. Ekema, who had always been hands-on in designing his solar systems, found himself managing larger teams and dealing with the logistics of international operations. He worried that the personal touch he once had with each project might slip away as the scale grew. Lillian, on the other hand, faced the challenge of maintaining the quality of her bakery brand while expanding into new markets. The challenge wasn't just in managing new locations, it was about ensuring that each bakery stayed true to its roots, with fresh, locally sourced ingredients, and offered a welcoming environment for everyone. She was determined that the human aspect of the business wouldn't get lost in the corporate expansion. One evening, after a long day of meetings, they sat together discussing their growing responsibilities. The strain was starting to show, but neither was willing to give up. They both agreed that scaling up needed to be done thoughtfully, with a focus on building strong local teams who understood the values of the businesses. They would not compromise on quality no matter how big they got. Determined to keep their personal connection to the work intact, Ekema and Lillian decided to focus on mentorship. They identified passionate young leaders in each of the countries they expanded to, training them not just in the technical aspects of their businesses, but in the core principles of sustainability and community empowerment. By investing in these local leaders, they ensured that their impact would continue to grow, even if they couldn't be physically present everywhere. Meanwhile, back in Enkolbison, the solar-powered devices and bakery franchises were doing wonders for the local community. People were able to start their own businesses with Ekema's solar devices, and many women had become successful bakers through Lillian's training programs. The village had become a hub of entrepreneurship, and Ekema and Lillian couldn't help but feel proud of how far they had come. But success came with its own challenges. With increasing competition in the bakery industry, Lillian found herself having to innovate again. To keep her bakeries ahead of the curve, she launched a new line of health-conscious bakery products using organic and locally sourced ingredients. This helped set her brand apart and attracted a new clientele, young professionals and families looking for healthier alternatives. She also began working with local farmers to ensure that her ingredients were not just sustainable, but also helped to support the agricultural community. At the same time, Ekema faced a critical moment in his solar project. A new, larger competitor had entered the market, offering cheaper, mass-produced solar panels. While their systems weren't as durable or efficient as Ekema's, the low price point made them a popular choice. Ekema was faced with a tough decision. Should he cut costs to remain competitive, or should he stick to his commitment to quality, even if it meant potentially losing market share? It was a difficult moment of reflection for Ekema, but in the end he chose to stay true to his values. He doubled down on the quality and durability of his solar systems, believing that in the long run people would value the reliability and long-term benefits of his designs. He focused on educating his customers about the importance of investing in long-lasting sustainable energy solutions and how his products were not just cheaper in the short term but would save money over time. Lillian, ever the optimist, encouraged Ekema during this time. She reminded him that their journey had never been about quick wins but about creating lasting change. She knew that their businesses had a greater purpose than just profit. They were about empowering people to take control of their futures. Together, they had created something that could stand the test of time, and that was worth fighting for.